Bert, I want to draw our attention over to the chart, but the lack of qualified candidates definitely leads the way for responses to our poll question. And there's no doubt the reason that we have a lack of qualified candidates is really this reason on this chart behind me. And I know I go through this chart all the time with our members, but it just flattens out the population of those individuals that we're looking to hire, and started in 2020 coincidentally with the COVID period. But there are just not many people. And I broke it down mathematically this week for some of our roundtables. And so what it really means for us, where we've been in this environment growing our working population at a rate of 20 million people every 10 years. That's what we've experienced since 1950 here. And we can see it's been growing and growing, and then it just kind of flattens out. What happens there is now we're only going to grow that same population by 5 million people over the next 20 years, right? So they're already they're 15, they're already alive because it starts at age 15 is where we start measuring that. So we can count those belly buttons and move them ahead and say, we know where we're going to be for the next 15 or 20 years. So what that means when I break it down is if everything was equal across all of the states, which it is not, there's some states that have more puts and takes than others, but if every state got the equivalent distribution each year of the available new talent in the age band, what that means for the state of Missouri, for the county of St. Louis, is that you would get 5 more people in 2024 to recruit from. That your recruiting population, that working population, is going to grow by 5 people every year. And that is what I think what people are saying by a lack of qualified candidates, because obviously we need more than 5. And that's where, at the same time, when we look at the cooling off that you were referring to in the layoffs, I'm going, we have to drench. It's not just a cooling, it's going to take a drenching to create enough unemployment to fill the job gaps that we have. And that is what I was hoping to get into with conversation with Jessica. I know she will be at the Wayfinder Summit. We'll try and squeeze her back into the program, but those are some serious figures that we're contending with when it comes to availability of talent, and why I think people are saying in such a high rate that their concern is talent availability.
Thank you once again for tuning in to This Week at Work. If you enjoy the show, please share it with your colleagues. Forward our invites. Share the link aimea.org/This Week at Work, or follow or subscribe wherever you get your news and entertainment, like LinkedIn, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. We're everywhere you are. And you can be part of the show. Send your questions and comments anytime to info@thisweek.work. We'll see you next week, 7:30 a.m. Central Time, when we discuss what's happening this week at work.